Logan with 38 ends _ wants to know, how do you make sure to pronate on the Vulcan splange? So I think that's one of like the most misunderstood concepts pertaining to changeups, at least for me personally, is the whole pronation thing. You can watch all of like my super slow-mo pitch design content. No matter what happens, you're gonna pronate. Now the timing of that pronation obviously influences some better patterns than not, but for the Vulcan change, for me, I'm actually not, I'm trying to get the ball through my fingers. So if I'm holding it like this, if I think like pronation, then it's not going to necessarily, in my opinion, be a Vulcan splange, because then I'm just turning it over. It's like early internal rotation of the shoulder. I'd be turning it over early and basically just having that typical change up off the ring finger. And I was just watching a lot of design video on this, and the best ones that I throw, the ones that are like the Bugs Bunny, those are the ones that I would want, are when I'm through the baseball and I'm through it to where the ball is almost kind of splitting. Now you can have the whole other conversation pertaining to like forearm integrity and elbow health, because ideally you don't want, like, this is the reason why the splitters was always kind of demonized early, is you don't want nothing behind the baseball when you throw it, right? You want fingers behind the baseball to stabilize. But again, not health advice, but speaking from how I'm kind of trying to grasp feedback, I want the ball to be split by the ring finger and the middle finger. At least that's how I would perceive that pitch to be effective, the most effective for myself. You were once a Vulcan guy, apparently, so what do you got?
I mean, it's just, I didn't think pronation at all. I just thought, if that's how I want it to spin, if this is how I want it to spin, then I'm just going to throw it so my hand is like that and just creates that direction. That's just the only thing I thought. That's a good thing. I never thought of a cue being, a physical cue being, think about the way you want the ball to spin. I just thought, this is the direction I want. Yeah. I have the two seams right here to like kind of, I guess, see it, or not see it, but like I can envision it in my head.
Yeah.
And I just say create the direction and then just let it slip out and then just usually.
Yeah. That's so you're kind of the same way though in terms of like the ball coming through the middle fingers.
Yeah, I just kind of go like that, and then it'll usually catch or something, and it just kind of like does this weird slip, and I can feel it, and I know it's a good one when I feel it. And that's why like anybody who asked me like how I threw that changeup at the time, I would just say I call it like a slip grip almost. I just want that slip to come out because I know it's just going to go.
Yeah.
And I've already established like the direction I want. So.
Yeah, it's always hard to explain like personalized cueing for specific pitches,
especially if it's not,
because like I would never think slip.
No.
Right. I would think like through.
Yeah.
But you know, I think everyone's different in terms of how they're creating feedback, and that's piggybacking off like the question, Logan, is if you're a guy that does, because I've talked to a lot of dudes with their changeup where they think like take the thumb to home plate, so they're internally rotating their shoulder like early, and they're creating that kind of what would be backward slider spin. They're creating that. That's where they want to feel like that pronation of that pitch. But you know, I think it really does come down, like that's why baseball is so beautiful, is like there's hardly ever any absolutes. Like whatever feedback, feeling, sensation that you feel that works best, go with it. But even your changeup you're throwing lately, not the non-Vulcan, are you turning it over?
Mm-mm. I just feel like that little...
Staying through it?
It's like I just try to feel that little...
Yeah. See, I feel like, dude, when I feel... Because a lot of people have always told me, I've never been a guy to throw a good changeup. Yeah. They always say, like, throw it off, you feel the ring finger.
Right? I don't like the ring finger.
And I've never liked it, dude.
I feel like I'm just going to cut it.
I feel like it's just like, the ring finger for me is just so like loose that I just not going to have any stability behind it to like put it where I want.
Yeah.
But like, that's why I think I've always kind of gravitated to more of a Vulcan split type off speed.